when you disappear, heaven will appear.
My ego needs to die for me to get out of hell.
Your ego needs to die?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the theme for this year. You need to disappear, and heaven will appear. It's right at hand. The kingdom of heaven is in us, but the only reason we're not seeing it because we have not disappeared. And so this year we're going to work on disappearing. This whole year, you got to put the work in. We got to work on disappearing, and because Christ came, God sent His Son, that we may have life right here on earth. And He loves us. Satan doesn't love us, but God loves us. And so you can have paradise right here on earth. You do not have to wait to die. And it's weird. It's right at hand. It's right here. But you got to disappear in order for that to happen. Meaning that every thought, every emotion, every reaction, every judgment, every opinion, every idea, every plan, every will you have to defend yourself, or these phony ideas you have about yourself, your reputation, what you think you want, and all that has to disappear. The ego must die. And when the ego dies, heaven, and you're going to, as the ego is dying, you're going to get a glimpse of heaven as it is dying. And the more you rise above in awareness, which is the mindset of God, and He said we should have His mind. We should have a clear mind, right? And the more you rise above it, the more courage and strength and love that you're going to have to rise even more so. You're going to get to the point where whatever happens out there won't even matter. It will not bother you. You got to lose all self-identity, because it's all ego and it's all lies. And it's preventing you from seeing the kingdom of heaven, because you have a false idea. Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a nurse, I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm a this, I'm an aunt, I'm a doctor, and I'm a whatever. That's not who you are. That's what you do, but that's not who you are. But you make it your identity. I'm a friend, I'm a family member, I'm a this. That's not who you are at all, not one iota. And you use it as an identity. And that's why you're not seeing the kingdom, because you identify with hell, a false identity. In order to live, you must die. And you will, once you die, the ego thing, you will rise and you shall live. And because, as I said earlier, this country and the world is not going to be getting better anytime soon. The hearts are wicked. Family members don't get along. Co-workers and friends and whatever don't get along. They don't get along because the heart is wicked. And every wicked heart is about themselves and not about anyone else. When people get married, they're not getting married out of love. They're getting married because they try to get something from one another. If you don't love me, I ain't going to love you. If you don't cater to me, I'm not going to do anything for you. That's all ego. And so this year, we got to work on the heaven appearing when you're dying. We're going to work on dying. And the death, as someone said, the ego death, only because you have identified with it as you, it's hard to die. But if you knew right away for sure that the ego is not you, you can be free just like that, right? You can walk out of this room totally free. And all your little titles and identities would disappear. I asked Hake, maybe I said it last Sunday here, which do you love more? To be angry? No, you love stress or to be nobody? Which one do you prefer, stress or to be nobody? Oh, you raise your hand? Okay. Which do you prefer to have stress or to be nobody?
Nobody.
Nice. See that? Listen to the kids. If you want to live, you got to become nobody. And the beauty about that, you're going to see what's going on with everyone around you, and you will not judge them. There will be no judgment of it. And you're protected by seeing, not by being angry. You're not protected when you're angry. You're protected when you have perfect love. Love protects all, because it's the nature, it's the identity of God. And God loves us. So we're going to break down the ego this year. One last thing. Also, I can tell, and I'm sure others can too sometime, when you have learned this stuff intellectually. Most people can tell, but they sit back quietly and don't correct you. You're going to be corrected this year. You're going to be correct, because I've noticed that just like with churches, when they go learn the Bible, it's all intellect, and you can sit up in church and quote the Bible until the cows come home. But inwardly, you have fear. You're not free. And you can hear me and the truth and everything, and you sit here and repeat the truth. In your mind, you think you sound good and look good, and everybody thinks you're fine. The people sit there thinking, that person's speaking intellectually. They have no idea what they're talking about. Hurry up and be quiet. But they won't tell you. We're going to let you know this year. Out of love. Now, if you don't come back, that's on you. It means you didn't want the truth, that's all. I understand it. But we got to love one another. The ego must die. But we cannot judge one another. All right? So this year, when I disappear, heaven will appear. You got to let this thing die. And the thoughts run deeper than just, I hate my mom, I hate my daddy. Every thought you get is a lie. And when that disappears, you cannot be hurt. There's no way. Because you have no reputation, you have no ego, you have none of that stuff. So how can you be affected? If there's no you, one last thing. If there's no you, how can you be hurt? And I want to promise you this. I can promise you this now. No one has ever, since you've been on this earth, done anything to you. Nothing has ever happened to you. No one has ever hurt you. No one has ever done anything to you. What? What do you think about that statement?
It's more of like I'm speechless. It's like I feel it, what you're saying, but I don't have any words to really respond to it, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. What do you think about that statement? That's on your hand, right? Yes. Okay.
I'm Frederick from California.
Is this your first time, Frederick?
Yes.
Oh, welcome, man.
I agree somewhat with it, because only I can make myself angry by the way I perceive it. But what somebody does to you physically, I believe something can be done to a person.
Now, physically, if I'm walking down the road and somebody attacked me physically, I don't mean practical things. I mean the real you.
Yeah, only you can make yourself mad. I agree.
Yeah. Right. Let me just say that about being angry. Once the spirit of anger is taken away from you, there is no more anger. No more anger. Because it's a spirit that made a home in you when you judge your father and mother as a little kid. It's a spirit. Once that spirit is taken away from you, and no matter what happened out there or even in here, you will never get angry. Because that spirit is no longer with you. Now you start to overcome. Yes, sir.
I think once people realize the reason that they get angry is because they didn't get their way, they'll look at it more as the you in them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why am I getting mad? Because they won't validate me. Or I didn't feel like I got what I deserved. Only reason people get angry is because they don't get their way.
And that's the nature of the devil. Because that's why God would take that spirit of anger away, so that if people do things for you, nice. If they don't, nice, right? And so have you forgiven how did you find us?
No, don't start. It's my first time. I'm just here to listen and gain more knowledge. We got a couple things we agree on, like religion, and it's like, but there's a few things we don't. And
okay, give me
how
a
you
quick,
doing, Hank? Hey, but not
give me
today.
a quick yes or no. We won't get into it.
No.
You have forgiven your mother?
No.
Oh, amazing. So, I want you to know in closing that the kingdom of heaven is within us. It really is. It's right here, right now. But you just don't see it because the false you have been protecting as though it was you, or that it is you, and it's not you at all. Whenever your little feelings get hurt, that's the devil in you. It's not you. Whenever you look for love, that's the devil in you. It's not you. Whenever you get lonely, that's the devil in you telling you you're lonely. And once he tells you, you believe it, now you react to, oh, I'm so lonely. Let me call up Aunt Susan. Oh, I'm so lonely. Let me go get a drink. Oh, I'm so lonely. Let me turn on the TV. You are never, the real you have never experienced loneliness. Isn't that deep?